What's going on, everybody? Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So the stock market yet again was all over the place today, guys. S&P 500 broke even. The Dow Jones went up 0.4%. The Nasdaq 100 went down 0.5% as the Russell 2000 led the way up almost 0.9% on the day. And today we're going to be talking more about the stock market, breaking down some technicals, going over a bunch of stocks to buy now, and I also want to share with you guys what stocks I own right now and in general where my head is at as a trader, as an investor, and what are my thoughts on the market as a whole. Are we going to see a pullback here in the next couple of weeks? That is what I want to talk about in this video. So if you guys find value, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Strive Smart Discord chat and Facebook group, and don't forget to claim your 4 stocks from WeBull. All of those are linked down below, and they're all 100% free of charge. So let's get into it. What happened today? Well, what we can see here on the S&P 500 is a lot of choppiness. We woke up, markets gapped up at about 9:30 a.m. here on the East Coast from 36.93 all the way up above 3,700, which you guys remember that is the level that we were talking about yesterday, right? Remember yesterday and the day before, the S&P 500 failed breaking 3,700, which was the level of resistance from back on Friday. Well, today we blasted right through that this morning. Again, we went from 36.93 up above 3,700. We hit about 37.06, pulled down, and take a look here on the intraday chart. Look at what happened this morning. We hit the 37.06 level, we pulled down, and we held 3,700 old resistance as a new support. That's very pivotal here, right? And you can see we held 3,700, we bounced right off of it, we hit 37.12 right under that old all-time high from a couple days ago, and we ended up selling off for the rest of the day after that. So take a look at what's happening here. This is very interesting. Let me show you this. This could be the start of a head and shoulder on the S&P 500. If we end up dumping, this is a big if we end up dumping under this 180 SMA on the hourly chart, right? You can see it starting to form. It's not there yet. It's starting to. Left shoulder, the head right here at about 37.26. And again, maybe if the S&P 500 were to dump off, continue this sell-off that we saw into the close today, maybe if it dumped off to about 36.30, maybe under 3,600, that is where the completion of the right shoulder would be. And who knows, we could see even more downside at that point. I mean, take a look. I'm not crazy. I mean, you guys can see it here for yourself. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder could be forming here on the hourly chart. And another thing worth noting here on, let's say, the 5-day, 5-minute chart, we actually failed breaking out for a higher high today. Remember, it's a good sign that we broke 3,700. That's great. But the fact that we failed at 37.10, we broke back under 3,700 heading into the close, that is not great. That's telling me, okay, the bulls had a little bit of a run this morning, but the bears ended up taking over for the rest of the day. And now we're back under that resistance from yesterday, the day before, which again is 3,700. So watch out. S&P 500, 3,700, 37.12. Those are two big levels. And another thing worth noting here is the intraday chart today was pretty much a head and shoulder as well. Left shoulder here, the head right here as we failed at 37.12, and the right shoulder right here as we dumped off into the close. And honestly, as we did dump off into the close, that pretty much completed the right shoulder. So I think the markets might be selling off a bit here. And let me get into what you see in the title of the video. Beware, the stock market pull down is coming, question mark? Well, the truth is, guys, the markets could have a little bit more juice left in them before we see a pullback. And let's talk about stimulus very quickly, which is this juice, I think, that's left in the market. Once we get the stimulus finalized, I think the markets are going to go up a little bit more heading into early 2021. And then I think as the stimulus wears off, as honestly we get closer and closer to March, which I believe is when these payments, is when the stimulus runs out, right? March or April, something like that. As we get closer and closer to those months, that is where I think the market will end up seeing that sell-off. So some people in Congress right now think $600, the check amount, is way too low, right? And actually, President Trump came out and said he doesn't want $600. He wants $2,000. And this is quote unquote, I'm asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 a person or $4,000 for a couple. And honestly, I agree with him. I mean, there's so many people out there struggling. They're just going to throw a measly $600. I mean, did you guys see this stimulus package? They threw so much extra crap into it. They're giving away hundreds of millions, billions of dollars to foreign countries at this point, which, don't get me wrong, I'm cool with that if America, the USA, is healthy in itself. But at this point, there's so many people struggling in the USA. Why not help them first, secure the people in the USA before giving out billions of dollars to these other countries, right? These foreign nations. And on top of that, what we're seeing is there's a ton of money going to the Smithsonian. I believe $1 billion to the Smithsonian, a couple $100 million to some art museum. And don't get me wrong, that stuff is important to preserve our history and whatever that money is going to go to. But I think it's more important to get the American people more than $600 and honestly give them a little bit more. I mean, $600 is not too much, and I'm not the person to be like, oh, print as much money as possible. I don't think that is the best thing to do. But when you're giving, again, foreign nations billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars to random things like the Smithsonian, this, that, and the third. When you're doing all of that, I think you could cut back a little bit on that and maybe give more to the people here in this country, in the USA, that are struggling. So I'm with Trump on this one. Honestly, I think 600 is too little. Maybe boost it up to 2,000. But then again, it might not get passed through. I mean, Democrats right now are backing the president's request for $2,000 checks, but it's not clear how many Republicans will join in because the proposal for bigger payouts is it's a lot. It's over 3 times what it was originally requested, right? And yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting how this ends up folding out, and that is why, or turning out, and that is why I think there is a little bit more juice in the markets, right? I think we might be able to see another pop, and then again, once that stimulus wears off, it starts running out, and then in the next coming months, and people are like, all right, where's the next stimulus package? I think that is where we're going to see a pull down, and it's very healthy. I mean, you guys have to realize pull downs are healthy, and if we do get a pop up, a little bit more juice in the rally, maybe 3,800 S&P, where I think it could get to, honestly, is this 180 SMA 4-hour chart, anywhere from 3,550, 3,600. I think that could be a nice, healthy pullback area, which could give the S&P about 5 to 8% downside from where it is right now. We'll see how it ends up going down, of course. As always, nothing is for certain. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but I'm just here giving you guys my opinion, right? And the Dow Jones, same thing. We're failing to break out of the resistance of this channel. You guys can see here, 30,300 is a big resistance. We got rejected there yet again today. So maybe we make a move down to 28,000 or 29,850, maybe 29,900. That is the support of this channel. That could be where we do end up finding some support, right? And if that breaks, we get the stimulus wearing off in the next couple weeks, months, whenever it does end up happening, and the economy, maybe it gets worse. We could get a pull down, I think, Dow Jones, maybe to 29,200, maybe 28,900, right around this 180 SMA. That's very possible. And the Nasdaq 100, very similar, right? We could go to 13,000 on the Nasdaq 100, no doubt about it, but it's not going to last forever. I think overall we could end up selling off maybe to the 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart at about 12,000. And in the short term, I mean, we're seeing the Nasdaq is holding on to 12,650 by a thread, it seems like. And the second it breaks that, I think we could be gapping down to the mid 12,000s, maybe 12,500. And shout out to the Russell 2000. It broke that very, very key level. Very big milestone was broken today. $2,000 on the index. And out of all of the indexes, guys, I'll be honest, this one is by far, in my opinion, the most overbought. I mean, this is doubled in the past, not even 6 months. I mean, no, more than 6 months. It was about 8 months. In the past 8 months, the Russell's gone from 1,100 to about 2,000. So I don't think it's going to last, this rally. And I don't want to sound like an ultra bear in this video, guys. Overall, I trade the trend, whatever is in front of me. But again, it's not always going to be going up. There's going to be a point where we sell off, and I just want to cover my thoughts on it, right? I think the Russell could end up going from 2,000 maybe to 1,700, 1,750, 1,650. Those are a couple levels to keep an eye out on. And again, shout out to the Russell for breaking that infamous, that very big milestone at 2,000 points for the index. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think a pullback is coming? I personally think it is in the next couple weeks. Let me know your thoughts down below. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys doing in the markets? I would, of course, love to know as always. Now let's talk about what stocks I own right now. And to be honest, I didn't do much of anything today. I held onto my positions from yesterday. And if you guys remember, if you guys watched my videos the past couple of days, I've actually been locking in profits and going more into cash. I locked out of my biggest swing position, Apple. I was in at 112, sold out at 132 roughly, right? So I locked in the profit there. I day traded a couple stocks this week, but other than that, I mean, I'm holding on. Oh, and I actually added NVIDIA yesterday. And other than that, I'm just holding on to what I've had, right? I sold out Apple. At this point, I'm holding on to my NVIDIA. And actually, no, I did add a little bit more NVIDIA today. Here are my notes. We have that. I almost forgot. I bought yesterday initially at 528.50, and today I bought a little bit more at 525.25. Ticker symbol NV. My voice getting cracky here, guys. NVDA 525.25 is where I bought. And overall, I mean, this is my only, well, I have two others, but this is my only substantial swing position at this point. NVIDIA, I think overall, we're going to get over 540, 550. I think there is some juice in NVIDIA here coming up. And I'm also still in Workhorse. This is another swing position I have, just not as big as NVIDIA. And this is one that I'm in at $22. Today it went down 2.5%. Still holding on to this as I think there is potential up to $25. And I'm also still in SLV, which gives me exposure to silver. And I got a question on silver earlier on Instagram, on the DM. And mind you guys, if you're not following me on Instagram yet and Twitter, what are you doing? Go follow me there at StasSurfS. He asked me, hey, what's going on with silver SLV? Well, the truth is silver got a bit overbought. I mean, take a look. It ran up to 27 an ounce from about 24 an ounce in a couple days. That was a rally of 12%. So, yeah, overbought. Honestly, got a bit overbought. Now we're selling off. We're holding about 25 an ounce here on silver at a high or low on the 50 SMA 4-hour chart. That is a very good sign that silver wants to pop up and continue. So, overall, I feel very comfortable holding on to SLV here. I'm long silver, and the chart is looking very, very bullish. So that's what I'm doing, guys. And NVIDIA, Workhorse, and SLV, that's literally what I'm holding right now. I'd love to know what you guys are doing down below in the comments. Let me know. And if you all are enjoying the video, hit that like button. Let's try to get 400 likes on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And let's get deeper into a bunch of other stocks here. I have about 8 to 9 that I want to talk about and maybe take a look at to buy these these next coming days. But then again, guys, the markets are closed on Friday for Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Happy holidays. And tomorrow, Thursday, we do close at 1 p.m. here Eastern Standard Time. So, I might not force anything tomorrow, but these are going to be stocks nonetheless that I am watching for the upcoming week after Christmas. So Square is number one. We saw finally a pull down in Square today, down 4.5%. It's down about $17 from the overbought level, very overbought in my opinion, level of 247. So that opened up from 247 down to 230, about 7% potential for profit. On the 4-hour chart, we notice how we are holding this 50 SMA, and this could be a support level. I mean, hey, it's held this point in the past couple of weeks, so maybe we get a nice bounce off of 230 into the mid 230s, low 240s. That would be great. But let's say we gap under this 50 SMA. Where could Square be going? I mean, I think overall it could end up going to the 180 SMA, low 200s. I would love Square to go to 200, maybe 205. I think that could be a huge buy point in my opinion, but that might be asking for too much considering that's about 9-10% lower from where we are now. So I'd be careful there. But overall, if Square does hold the 230 level again, we're probably going to be going higher. And LUV, we called this one out yesterday. Shout out to anybody that did take this move. I personally didn't, but I still think there's more juice left. I mean, a lot of juice left, quite honestly. We talked about yesterday how if LUV Southwest gaps out of this 1-hour downtrend, the downtrend you're seeing here, and the 180 SMA, I was saying how there's a lot of upside potential there. There's breakout potential, as we can see even on the 4-hour chart. That would mean we could end up going back up towards the mid 49s. I mean, take a look. Every time we've held the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, we've bounced off of it. We've hit a new high in the past 6 months. So hey, who's to say it can't do it again? Especially as we're seeing the V shot circulating around here, around the world. That's probably going to stimulate more traveling here in the next year and a half, couple of months. So yeah, I mean, the airlines might benefit here in the short term. So we might be able to see a nice pop in LUV, the continuation of the breakout here. And Tesla, just like we covered, this past Sunday, we said, watch out for Tesla. It's likely to sell off this week after the inclusion in the S&P 500, and it's been doing that exactly. It hit $700 a couple days ago, and now it's down to the mid 600s, about 645. We ended up breaking even today, up only about 0.9%, nothing crazy. And honestly, we're still holding the uptrend despite the little sell-off this week. We're holding a higher low on the 50 SMA, so maybe this could be a dip buy on Tesla. Maybe we see a rally back up to 655, 660, 670. That could be a money-making opportunity, but the second it breaks this uptrend on this 4-hour chart, holding that 50 SMA, the second it breaks that, I think we're going to be going lower, maybe low 600s. So watch out for Tesla on that potential dip. Honestly, I think 550 would be a dream scenario for a swing trader, right? Right around 550, around this 180 SMA 4-hour chart. So watch out for Tesla. Another one here is Open Door. Was recently IPOB, but the merger went through, and now it's trading under the Nasdaq, on the Nasdaq exchange under ticker symbol OPEM. This is Open Door, guys. This one's down a good chunk. It's down 8% today, and overall it's down about 20% from the recent high at about $33. So this could be a dip buy on Open Door. I mean, it's holding the uptrend. As of right now, it looks like right around this 50 SMA 4-hour chart. So I'd watch and see, okay, are we going to hold 28, get back into maybe 29, 30 level? If so, that could be the confirmation of the uptrend continuing, and that's exactly what we want to see here to get into this stock, ticker symbol OPEM. And we have a bunch more, guys. I'm not letting you down. I never let you guys down. I got the stocks for you all. I got the stocks. The next one here is ticker symbol RUM, Sunrun. This one's arguably a bit overbought. I mean, we are at about 67 on the R side, but I like the way it broke out of this big resistance at $69, $70-ish. It broke out earlier in the day to about $72. I really like that because that's showing, okay, buying pressure, buying momentum out of a big resistance from a couple weeks ago. And if you guys take a look, we broke out again, like I said, and we pulled down and we held it as a new support right around $69. And we ended up closing on an upswing, and we ended up going up 0.9% on the day, and the uptrend is holding here on the 5-day 5 minutes. So I'm really liking Sunrun here. I'm looking for maybe a breakout into the mid 70s now. That's kind of what I'm thinking is coming. But before that, we might see a bit of a pull down again because it is overbought, or maybe just some consolidation at about 68, 69, 70. But overall, I do see a move into the mid 70s coming here in the next couple of weeks. Honestly, that's just my opinion, and you guys must, as always, do your own research. So GBTC, the Bitcoin Trust, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, this is one that honestly, we called out at about $19 before this massive rally to 30. And every time this starts to pull down, especially with how hot Bitcoin is these days, I think it is worth watching. And now, arguably, there is more selling to come based on this chart, but now is the time to start watching it. Let's put it that way. It's already down about $4 from its high, down about 12%. And I think it could get lower, and the closer it gets to the mid-20s, the more eager I am to buy. So watch out for this one. I mean, it's looking interesting. You know, the risk reward at this point is not the best, again, considering it could go down lower. But the second, it starts to get close to 25, 26, that is where the risk reward starts to become more favorable, right around this 50 SMA 4-hour chart. So watch out for the dip here in GBTC. Chegg is another one that I got a request on in my comments. And by the way, guys, if you want me to talk about any stocks, feel free to drop them down below in the comments. Chegg right here is another one that broke out of a big resistance, right? Broke out. We saw the momentum shift there, from a potential head and shoulder. I mean, take a look here on the 4-hour. This was almost a head and shoulder. Left shoulder here. We had the head right here forming at about what? $84. Actually, it's not really a head and shoulder because for it to be a head, it would need to be out of this 88 resistance, but we'll go with it, right? We almost had the head and shoulder, but instead of the right shoulder curling down and getting rejected down to the mid 80s, low 70s, or low 80s, it broke out. It broke out of 90, and we hit a high at 95. So that's a good sign that momentum is shifting up, but we're overbought. So I'd like to see a pull down from 93, 95, maybe back down to $88 for it to hold as a support there. That could be a nice dip buy here on Chegg. But again, at this point, I wouldn't chase it where it is right now. And NEO was pretty crazy today, like it always is. Does it surprise you these days, guys? It sure does not surprise me. NEO was pretty interesting. It went down to $45 this morning, spiked up to 48, and it pretty much consolidated for the rest of the day at about $47. So watch out for what NEO is going to do here at about $47. This is going to be interesting, right? On the hourly chart, you guys can see despite us not breaking out of $48, I mean, that's not a good sign. On the flip side, we're holding the uptrend still on the hourly chart, and we're kind of in an ascending triangle, right? Big resistance at 48, but we're uptrending into that resistance. So I think if we can break 48, and especially the high from yesterday at about $49.50, that is where we're going to see a big spike in NEO, and patience is absolutely key here. We might not get the move tomorrow, again, before the holiday weekend, but maybe the week after. So be patient. Watch out for NEO and NDM, guys. Talk about volatility. This thing went bananas today. Went up to $10.50, and it closed at $8.70, down over 14%, pretty much 14% from where it was at the high of the day. So talk about volatility, guys. This one was overbought, no doubt about it. I thought it was overbought at $9, and then it went up to $10.50, making it even more overbought. And now I think it could be a buy, especially if it gets closer to the low $8 level. I mean, even here you could argue it's going to be a buy at about $8.79, right? Because on the hourly chart, seems like we are holding the 50 SMA at a higher low there. So this could very well be a dip buy, but I would like it even more, to be honest, at that $8 level. So watch out for NNDM. And the last one here is CIIC. This is a rival. They have a $10,000 order with UPS, right? There's a lot of potential with that particular, EV startup out there. And I believe they're in England, right? They're a UK company, and they're not a startup. They have concepts and products, and, the big order with the UPS. So we'll see what they end up doing there with their future. But overall, the stock is pretty bullish. I mean, it broke out of this wedge on the 4-hour, hit a high at about $34 a couple days ago. I mean, it wasn't a high compared to the 37, but in the past couple of days on the 5-day, 5-minute, you can see that was a high. And now we're pulling down and we're holding an uptrend on the 5-day, 5-minute. So I think this one's on its way to about $35, $37. I think it's coming. We just have to be patient. So watch out for CIIC on this dip. It's looking bullish overall. And let's see how long this video has been. Maybe I can squeeze one more in. All right, we're 25 minutes in. Not that bad. Maybe one more stock. Virgin Galactic, SPCE. Let's see how this one did today. Well, it did well, up 5.3%. And what do you guys remember that I said yesterday? Or what did I say yesterday? I mixed up that sentence. We said yesterday how Virgin Galactic was holding 25. That was a very good sign. We can see here on the hourly chart, $25 was a support from stemming back from a couple days ago and a couple weeks ago. And now that I'm looking at this, I remember my analysis from yesterday. We called out the inverse head and shoulder. What do you know, guys? We literally called this out. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder here. And today, as we gapped up, we broke out. That completed the right shoulder. So we saw the beginning of the formation of the right shoulder, but we missed the move. We missed the move pretty much. This would have been a great entry this morning, but you can't catch everything, guys. Even though you talk about stocks, and I'm talking third person as to myself. Or wait. Never mind. Just forget that, guys. What am I talking about? Anyway, this is one that, I called out. And the funny thing is, you can call stocks out all day on YouTube, and you talk about so many stocks, me, right? And you can't catch all of them. So this one exploded, and at this point, I think there could be some more upside if it breaks $27.50, maybe $28. I mean, that could be where we see an even higher push to $30, which is the next resistance. So watch out for this one. And again, drop a laughing emoji for me missing this move. It should have been one that I caught. But anyway, guys, if one of you caught it, that's good enough for me. So we're going to wrap up the video here. If you guys liked it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments if you stayed till the end. Simply say stayed till the end. I really appreciate you guys if you did. You guys are awesome. Watching my videos every day really means a lot to me. And don't forget to join the Discord chat, the Facebook group. Join the Twitter family and the Instagram family. All of those are linked down below. And you could also get 4 stocks from WeBull valued up to $1,600. Also linked down below. All you have to do is deposit $100 and you get those 4 stocks. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, everybody, again, it means a lot to me. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. I'll catch you all in the next video. Keep crushing the markets. Peace out.